In this video, I'll be guiding you through 3 common mistakes most developers make when working with Next.js 13. And these 3 common mistakes are mistakes that you are most likely going to make if you are about to start working with Next.js 13. So let's dive right into the video. Caching wrong output data during development. Next.js introduces a new data fetching system in the app directory, leveraging the native fetch web API. Next.js extends the fetch options objects, allowing each request to define its own caching and revalidation rules. So, the preferred request library in Next.js 13 is the fetch web API, making Axios less relevant. However, this new feature often leads to developers caching incorrect output data during development, which can cause significant problems down the line and cost you valuable hours. I've even found myself deleting code that appeared to have no issues, only to realize that the wrong data I was receiving was cached. To address this issue, you can perform a hard refresh of the page using Ctrl+R to invalidate the previous cache. Alternatively, during development, you can dynamically fetch data utilizing the cache property in the fetch options object by setting its value to no store. But you must also remember to remove this property before deployment. Incorrect combination of route handlers and server components. When considering your use case, it's important to understand that server components might eliminate the need for route handlers, which were previously essential for serverless API routes. Route handlers provided security measures such as safeguarding sensitive credential information and API keys from the front end. Server components serve a similar purpose, while also granting access to dynamic functions including headers and cookies provided by Next.js. So unless you intend to create your own APIs for external use, you'll likely find that route handlers become obsolete for many use cases. However, one important use case where route handlers are necessary is when you need to make fetch requests from client components. For example, in my products listing page, I utilize Redux in a client components to store filter states and refetch the filtered products from my database, making route handlers essential. Besides that, all the code from my route handlers could have been seamlessly incorporated into my server components functions without any issues or security breaches. Deployment errors due to route handlers and server components. Building your API routes at the same time as the server components that make requests to those API routes will cause build errors. This is not a problem when you make fetch requests in your client components, as you can make use of relative paths in your fetch requests, and the browser will automatically prepend the current host name to your request URL. However, with the server, you would need to request the full URL because the server does not know the base URL of the request. To solve this issue, you can take one of 2 approaches. Firstly, if you encounter this problem after spending a month of developing a project and are too lazy to remove all your route handler and server components dependencies, a quick solution is to build and deploy your route handlers first. To do this, you would need to rename all your page.js files or page.ts files, depending on if you are using TypeScript or not, to a different name, since Next.js does not offer solutions to selectively build folders. Once your route handlers are live, use the provided domain name or URL from your hosting service to make the request from your server components. Then revert the names of the pages files you edited back to page.js or page.ts and redeploy. This will resolve the fetch errors you encountered during deployment, and your app will be successfully deployed. But the best approach is to stick to fetching data in your server components until it becomes absolutely necessary to utilize route handlers. One necessary use case is fetching data from client components, but you should be absolutely fine if you avoid fetching data from your route handlers through your server components. And those are the 3 common mistakes that you are most likely going to make when using the latest version of Next.js 13. And that's going to be it for now. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.